What's going on, guys? My name is Carlos Curiel, and I am going to be teaching a class on how to write a book. So, for those of you who know already, obviously, this is what this channel started off as here. I started writing my first book. This is my very first book here, Process, the Key to Living in Christ. This is my very first book that I was really super excited to write. God put a word on my heart, and so I started writing this book, and here it is. Then sometime later, about a year later, God put another word on my heart, and I started writing that book, and so here's this one right here. That is From Shepherd to King, 10 Important Life Lessons from the Life of David. Both of these are available on Amazon, so I'll go ahead and put those links in the description. But it got me thinking, and then it got me realizing that I should teach on how to write a book. A lot of people out there have an idea, or don't really know what it takes to get from point A to point B, or and C, D, and E, and finish their book. And so, and to get started, it takes one step at a time. But we're going to go ahead and get into that here. So, obviously, this is a I'm going to be teaching a class, as you might say, and teach you guys on how to write a book. So this is episode one, getting started. Again, I'm going to be able to teach you guys how to go ahead and turn your ideas into an actual book that you can go ahead and sell yourself, or possibly do what I did and sell through Amazon, which is a really cool way of self-publishing. And we'll go ahead and get into that later on in the in this master class, I guess you could say. But yeah, how to write a book, episode one, getting started. So first things first, writing a book. I had no experience at all. I did not know how to write a book. I did not know how to publish a book. I did not know how to self-publish. What it was going to take. I had no idea. I had no experience, and that's the first thing I want to let you guys know is no experience is needed. And anyone can write a book and publish it themselves. Nowadays, with the technology we have and with the resources we have available to us, anyone can really write a book. So again, it just takes time and patience. Writing a book is like it's not like riding a bike where after many times you just get it right and you just start doing it. Writing a book takes longer than obviously riding a bike, which I would think so, anyways, for me. Um, but yeah, writing a book takes time. It takes a lot of time. This didn't happen overnight. This first book took me about maybe a couple of years to write, and then the second book took me about maybe a little bit less than that since I already had experience from writing the first one. So obviously, as you start going, you start getting used to it. But again, no experience is needed. I did not, have any background knowledge on how to write a book. I honestly, through YouTube videos and doing stuff just like this, whatever you're watching right now on how to write a book, just like this class is what I'm trying to teach here on how to write a book. It takes time and it takes resources to learn, but nowadays everyone has available resources, so just like this video. So again, no experience is needed. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to know how to write a book off the bat. Really just go for it, and that's exactly what I want to go ahead and encourage you guys to do. If you have an idea about writing a book, go for it. And that's the next point here. So what's your idea? So obviously, writing a book, you have to start off with an idea. Find out what you want to write about. I'm a Christian author. I'm a Christian, and so I see myself as a Christian author. And everything that I've written, these two books that I've written, have all been about finding your way through Christ and learning about the story of David and his life, and I find myself to be a Christian author. So that's exactly who I am. I'm a Christian, and I am a Christian author. So that's what I feel like God puts into my heart is obviously I feel like he gives me stuff to write about, and so I write about that stuff. But again, for you, it may be something different. It may be maybe not a Christian author. Maybe you want to go ahead and write a book that is a biography about yourself, or maybe you want to write a book about certain ideas that God has placed on your heart, but not necessarily such. It doesn't have to be necessarily a Christian book, um, but it could be other books as well. So again, what's your idea? Find out what you want to write about. Start journaling. Again, all this stuff, all these books, these two books that I've written, they didn't come out right away like this. I started writing ideas in my notebook and I started typing ideas, and we'll kind of get into that later on in the next kind of presentation. But I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know if you have an idea about what you want to write about, start journaling, start writing your ideas down. That really, really, really is a great way to start. The next thing is little by little it comes together. So if you look at your project or your idea of writing a book, if you look at, possibly, the amount of, the page count that you want to have 250 pages, and you start writing one page, and then you feel like it's going to take forever. And if you have to have your ideas, and you have to have your mindset that this is a step-by-step process. So it's a baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And we'll kind of get into that a little bit later as well. But little by little, it'll come together. So don't get frustrated and don't give up, which we'll also get into a little later as well. So again, don't give up, right? So start your project with the intention to finish it. So writing a book, again, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of patience. A lot of people don't have the patience for it. A lot of people don't have the time for it. But again, it doesn't have to happen overnight. So please do not give up. If God has put something on your heart, or you've been wanting to write a book about something else for a long time, please, please, please do not give up. Write, 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 and just keep writing. Always keep writing. Journal. Keep your notes written. Have a little notebook with you. I used to have a little notebook with me to go ahead and write my ideas down. If I had an idea for my book, I'd start writing about it. So definitely write. Don't give up. Keep journaling. Keep writing. So again, I got started off using a Word or Google Doc. So if you don't have Microsoft Word, which is this one right here, again, you can go ahead and go to Google Docs. If you have a Google account or Gmail, or even if you opened up Google, you go to Google Docs, you can just start writing on a Google Doc. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So for those of you who don't know, most of you I'm already sure already know, but let's go ahead and take a look here. So let's go ahead and take a look. So again, this is a Google Doc. If you go to Google and you just go ahead, and I'll show you how to get there from Google. Let's go home. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get there. So you go to the Google Apps, and then you scroll down. Again, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to get there already, but this is going to go to Google Docs. Click that. And again, it's like Microsoft Word, but it's pretty much free for you. I mean, you don't have to buy Microsoft Word if you don't have the money to. Google, you can just start writing, you know, um, if you want to go ahead and start writing, and just go ahead and just title your, get your ideas going, and just type in, book, and then just start writing your ideas down, what you want to go ahead and write about, just typing gibberish right now, but you can go ahead and start writing about whatever you like. And the cool thing about Google Docs is that it'll save it automatically. This is what it says right here. If I type anything, you see right here in this corner right here, it says saving. So this will automatically save your stuff, which is really, really cool. And then you can always go back to it later. So that is super, super cool. I grew up in school, going to school, going to college and stuff like that. I grew up using not Google Docs. I use Microsoft Word. For me, Word has been with me since high school, since middle school. I've always used Microsoft Word, so I'm comfortable with it. So I know how to change, doing the basic stuff, nothing crazy, but, changing your fonts, changing your font sizes. Obviously, that's super basic, but I'm just used to Microsoft Word, how to manage it, how to go ahead and change certain things, getting your ideas written out, when you post images, stuff like that. I'm super used to it already. Again, I went to school. Microsoft Word was really what I used a lot of the time. So again, it really depends on what you like. Again, if no one, if you don't have Microsoft Word, you can go ahead and use the Google Docs and just go ahead and start writing. So again, the first things first is you get your idea, and we'll go ahead and get into this in the second presentation as well. But you go ahead and go in and you get into your ideas here. So let's say you want to write a book about, being a great friend. I don't know, whatever you want to write about, right? Being a great friend. So obviously that's not the title of your book, but this is the title or the main topic you want to have. So I usually go ahead and make it a huge font on the first page, so that way I know what I'm writing about. Being a great friend, okay. And then in this type of when I get started, what I usually do as well is I start writing about, like, if I'm explaining it to somebody, like I want this book to be about what it takes to be a great friend. All right. And then once you have your idea and what you want to go ahead and write about, then at that point you can start getting your ideas down. And I like using bullet points to go ahead and start getting ideas, and these ideas become chapters. So let's go ahead and get that started. So for example, being a great friend, bullet point. What does it take to be a great friend, right? I want this book to be about what it takes to be a great friend. So what are good what are good qualities, or what are great qualities that make a great friend? What about being loyal, trust, right? Respect. All these things could be then turned into chapters, right? And then you start breaking those things down. So what about being loyal? What is that? You just go ahead and delete that and give some space. Loyal. Well, being loyal really matters because, and then you just start typing because this is this. And then this is in the part right here where you start talking about possibly personal experiences. So I remember, right, you can start jotting those things down as well. I remember back when I was a kid, being loyal meant everything, so forth and so on. And you start getting this huge paragraph about what it means to be loyal. And then that can then turn into a chapter. And then you do the same thing for the other things. So trust. Trust is important because so forth, and then so on and so on. And little by little, again, this is just an easy example, but little by little, you start adding a lot of stuff into these different sections: loyal, trust, respect. And then as you start adding stuff there as well, you'll start getting other ideas about how you want your book to go. So being a great friend, so, loyal, trust, respect, those are all good things. But what about what about not being a good friend? What are those qualities like? What makes a friend not great? You know what I mean? That's something you can also put in your book. So again, you want to talk about possibly what your book's about, and you want to also get into what your book is talking about, and, obviously get into the depth of, expanding on your book, but you want to look at your book from all facets. So being a great friend, it takes being loyal, trustworthy, respectful. That's great stuff. But also think about stuff that makes a friend not great, right? How about people that possibly what's the opposite of trust, right? Of you, someone you can't trust, or maybe some other things that possibly may cause you to not be a great friend. So again, being a great friend, that's the main idea. And then obviously later on, you can start creating a more creative title, and then you can start messing with other stuff. But again, the first point or the first part of this presentation is just getting started, which means getting an idea, start writing about that idea, and just keep adding to it, keep adding to it. And then for the next video, we'll go ahead and get into how to get all that information and then putting it into kind of like a book, right? So we'll go ahead and get into that in the next presentation in the next video here. Okay, guys? So this was a short video just to go ahead and get your idea going, to go ahead and let you know it doesn't take, you don't have to be an amazing writer to go ahead and write a book. You don't have to be, have past experience to write a book. You don't need any of that. You just need an idea and you need to stick with it. Just like anything that's worthwhile, it's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of patience. But in the end, again, in the end, I never thought I could imagine myself having two books. But again, you put in the work and you trust what God puts on your heart, and whatever you may want to write about, and then you just see it to the end, and you guys will make it. Trust me. So don't get frustrated. Again, don't give up. This is just the first step here, getting the idea on paper, start adding to it, start journaling, start adding to it, and then it starts becoming a book. And we'll go ahead and get into that next in the next video. We'll go ahead and explain how that all that stuff starts coming together. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Again, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what ideas you may have about writing a book. And yeah, let's go ahead and share some ideas there. All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.